Welcome to the Two Tunes Podcast. I'm Bo.
I'm Brandon.
Okay, how you doing?
Okay.
Yeah, do anything fun?
I saw The Lightning Thief last night. The Lightning Thief, a Percy Jackson musical.
The musical.
Yeah.
Because when you said that, I was thinking, isn't that a movie from like years ago?
Did they make a movie?
Yeah. I think the movie came out before the musical.
Well, yeah. And then they just recently did a TV show?
Yeah, and apparently all the kids were like, oh my God, it's so much better because it follows the book.
Sure. Well, because you can do more in 8 hours than 2. The musical is whack.
Okay.
I did not care for it. I thought they did a good job.
Yes.
Like I had several friends involved, but it's just not great. First of all, again, it much like a movie distilling a book down into 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right? And you're doing the same thing with a musical.
How long is the musical? I have no idea why there are bells. Maybe they think it's Monday.
Maybe.
They changed the date.
Yeah.
Give me a bell.
I don't know, like normal musical time, 2.5 hours or whatever.
Okay.
Like that's, with intermission, like all that's, I usually figure most musicals from the time it starts to the time bows happen is about 2.5 hours.
What's a long musical?
Like give you an example of Into the Woods.
Into the Woods is long. Okay. That was the first one that I've ever really experienced.
Yeah. I think like,
is Hamilton long?
No.
Is Wicked long?
I don't know.
Is it Wicked long?
Wicked long. Wicked for good.
Yeah.
Into the Woods is the one I tend to think of. Mm-hmm. Although, like, I was just a part of that, and it didn't seem terribly
when you're
long.
In it, and also when you're
My Fair Lady can feel long, like can kind of be long. Mm-hmm. I think like the OG Cinderella was maybe long.
Is there anything 3 hours?
I mean, probably.
Okay.
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head.
Because like when I was watching Wicked,
Which is like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, and then that's only the
that's
first
part one. That's
that's the first act. Mm-hmm. Or is it? Would it be? Yeah.
It is act 1.
Are they considered acts?
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. Okay. No, but that is like, if you saw the musical, which I have not seen, but like as far as I know, like act 1 is the movie that you saw.
Yeah. Just
certainly scenes more fleshed out and whatever, but.
Which just make it feel like that's a long musical. 6 hours?
Yeah, but it's not that.
Or like it's 2 parts or whatever, because it's not, obviously.
Yeah.
And then also speaking of, was it 3 hours? Was it over 3 hours, or was it just under 3 hours?
Wicked?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but what I've seen online is people have said 3 hours.
Okay, so which means it might be 250.
Might be 250. Yeah, tend to round up.
So movie lengths. Mm-hmm. What is too long for a movie length? Like one movie, not like.
I think it depends on the style of movie. Like to me, 3 hours is about as long as I want to go for a movie. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And again, if it's like depending on the story and the whatever, like if I'm engaged the whole time, like Oppenheimer was like 3 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was not.
You weren't engaged
until like the second or the last hour, and then it's like, this is such a great movie.
Yeah, no, I was into it the whole time. My problem was when I saw it. Actually, I was Peter Ariano and his dad were in the same row as me. Okay, which was like totally random.
Yeah, that is super random.
Because we saw it in Palmyra. Mm-hmm. Which is close for me, not as close for them, but they have recliners and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a good theater.
Hey, how's it going? And like Peter was just up visiting and like his family because it was summer. But anyway, that was cool. But the thing that was bad in my screening was like the row ahead of us. Actually, the 2 rows ahead of us was just like teenagers on their phone the whole time, and then like getting up and like doing all this stuff. I'm like, just don't be here. Like it's fine.
This isn't a place to hang out.
Just go hang out somewhere. Yeah,
movies are not places to hang out and talk and discuss. They're not good date places either. You're sitting there staring at a screen, not talking for 3 hours.
But then you have something to talk about. That's afterwards. Have you heard the whole thing of like, don't do dinner and a movie, do movie and dinner?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because then you've got built-in conversation piece, whatever.
Yeah. That sounds great.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It depends on the style of movie. I'm also a fan of like the 90-minute movie. Mm-hmm. Get in, get out.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? Wicked is 240.
All killer, no filler. Yeah, 240.
240. Speaking of 90-minute movies,
oh my God!
There's going to be a ton of bells. Now we're
like right in the heart of the lunch thing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like bells every.
Yeah, there's going to be tons of bells. I saw. So we watch a lot of Star Trek and like the new Star Trek, which is like it's not the 90s Star Trek, and it's definitely not the 60s Star Trek.
It's not your grandpa's Star Trek.
Not your grandpa's Star Trek. Yeah. But they have this show that they've been working on, or at least talking about, since like 2015.
Okay.
Called Section 31.
Okay.
And it's got Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh?
Yeoh, my bad. Is the main character. Like her character. She was in the whatever, talking about it forever. Yeah. We're talking about this movie and it was supposed to be a TV show. Talking about it forever.
Was that, so 2015, was that related to the...
Like Discovery hadn't even...
J.J. Abrams
movies? No. It was, I mean, it's kind of like a spinoff of that, sort of. But it like started with Discovery and then went to New Worlds, Strange New Worlds. And then Lower Decks, like this whole like, let's bring it back. Let's like tell...
And those are all related, like sort of?
Kind of.
Okay.
Because it also like it spans so long. Like it takes place like before the original series, some of it, and then it like jumps to after everything. Okay. Discovery does, but then Strange New World is.
But then they always find a way to like time travel back.
Yeah. Like the trials and tribbles, or the trouble with tribbles, or whatever.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Much like Star Wars, there's like a lot of like the 5 years after Return of the Jedi is like really like that's where they kind of keep going.
Yeah, right now they do.
Yeah, and it's like, is Star Trek kind of like that too, where like they're sort of, I mean, I know that they span different eras, right?
Yeah,
but is there a thing like that? Because I don't know Star Trek. Is there a thing like that where they kind of like keep focusing on like this one thing, or is it that they do what you're saying, where they'll go hundreds of years in the future, but then they kind of pull it back? Is it that kind of thing? Like,
well, thousands, by the way,
sure.
Thousands, or 1,000. I don't know. So you have, I guess there's 3. Well, now there's 4. There's like 4 giant timeline things, because it's all about the Federation. And you have Enterprise.
Federation are the good guys?
Sure.
Is that the people that we follow?
Yeah.
Like the Enterprise?
The United Federation of Planets.
Okay.
So like humans, Vulcans, Bajorans. Yeah, you can call me a nerd. This is where people like nerd. Yeah. I guess like the first, like if you go through the time thing, so there's First Contact, which is a movie that is actually, never mind. You know what? There's even before that. Like the original series movies, they go back to like 19 whatever, or like the 80s, or I forget what.
Okay.
And save the whales, or like bring whales to the future.
Oh, sure. I'm vaguely aware of that.
Yeah. But First Contact is like a next generation.
What if those are the space whales in Star Wars?
Maybe they are. They could be. So First Contact, next gen goes back to the past too, because the Borg kind of also go back to the past and try to mess up First Contact, because it's like, if the First Contact is when Vulcans noticed that, the Earth, or the planet Earth, can do warp capabilities, so like now they're going to go to the stars, so let's introduce ourselves, because you can now, like, you can come find us, and we don't have to be like, let's not mess you up, or whatever. That's kind of like, I guess, the origin point, or could be the origin point. And then like Enterprise takes place after that, and then the original series, but now Strange New Worlds is before that, and I think it's in the J.J. Abrams universe.
J.J. Abrams.
Yes. I'm not like
Jar Jar Abrams.
Jar Jar Abrams. That's awesome. That'd be like
I'm not the first one to make that joke.
What's the JJ stand for? Jar Jar.
Jar Jar.
Me so good.
Misa like lens flares.
Misa likes lens flares. That's a good one too.
That's an original of mine.
Okay, awesome. But going back to like, so you have kind of like next gen looks a certain way, original series looks a certain way, and then this Discovery looks a certain way, and Discovery takes place before the original series. They're kind of like they want like, oh, let's get Trek, or let's get not Trek, but let's get Kirk, let's get Spock. Because like Spock is in that show, but it's before Kirk comes around, and Kirk's brother is there, and
sure.
So like they kind of like are dealing with the original series, but then there's a thing that happens, and then they like move forward in time, where the Federation is no more, and they're like, we got to get back, which always is a bad thing to me. It's like when people from another time or another dimension, they go to this other dimension and they're like, we got to make it right. It's like, this is what, like, you're the odd person.
Yeah.
Like you're in a different culture.
Yeah.
Like, why are you trying to make it your culture?
Colonizers,
yes. But this movie, it doesn't feel like Star Trek. It feels
Which
like
movie are we talking about?
The Section 31.
Oh, right.
Which Michelle,
the one that doesn't exist.
No, it does exist.
Oh.
It just came out last Friday as of this recording. Okay. And like me and Jess were watching it, and we're just like, we don't like it because it's like, this feels like a heist movie and not like a good one.
Okay.
Like, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like Trek. It feels like, what is that? Smoking Aces?
Sure.
Or like Ocean's 12, 11, or 10, or 4.
Just doing it within the...
Yeah.
See, that's the thing... Okay. That's the thing with Phase 1 Marvel movie... Or not Phase 1, but like the Infinity Saga Marvel movies.
Yeah.
To an extent, I feel like they would do things like that.
Yeah.
They would do these movies that are set in the universe and still following the overall arc.
I like those.
But yeah, exactly. You know, this is the spy one. This is the one. This is the that one.
But when you establish a certain viewpoint and stick with it for years and years and years and years and years, that first outlier is going to feel weird.
Yeah.
But with the Marvel movies, each movie was like, it exists on its own. And then like then they pulled them in together to be like, it's in the universe.
Yeah.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy is a completely different movie from like Civil War. Completely different movie.
Yeah.
But then then when you go to and you see how they're connected.
But would you okay, so this is like the first one.
Like, we've seen this character before. Okay. Like in a bunch of seasons of another show. Okay. And then it's just like, and then she went to a thing, but it takes place after that thing. Okay. It's like, why didn't you tell us?
See, I would like, I mean, not outside of Star Trek, but like even in Star Wars, which is like the more of a thing that obviously I like and watch or whatever. I wish they would do more things like that, where like this one's a heist one, or this one's this, or this is that. You know, like those types of things where it's like it's within the universe, but it doesn't all have to feel kind of the same.
Did you watch Skeleton Crew?
I did watch Skeleton Crew. Yeah. Which is Star Wars Goonies. It was great.
Yes. And it's also a pirate movie.
Yeah. No, that was great. It was fun, and it was like, and it's kidsy, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's for kids. I mean, technically all of Star Wars is supposed to be for kids, except for Andor, probably. But
which is the best show.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm a little worried about season 2.
Why?
Because it was supposed to be it was supposed to be like 5 seasons. Yeah. And now they're kind of condensing it. The whole idea was it takes place 5 years, BBY or whatever, and each one was supposed to be a year. And so then season 1 was essentially, and now season 2 is going to be the final season, and there's going to be a time jump. Oh, yeah. I think between seasons, but also within the season,
so
there's going to be a time jump.
It's only 2.
There's only going to be a second season.
That sucks. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great show. They're probably like, we're not really doing so well. Yeah. With Star Wars.
They just, Well, part of it is, again, this is the thing I kind of brought up. This is why I was questioning like the timeline of the Star Trek stuff. With Star Wars, they kind of just keep hanging around that original trilogy timeline. And it's like, get away from that.
Yeah.
Go 1,000 years in the past. Go like do the old Republic. Do whatever. You know, they kind of with the Acolyte, they were like maybe, but like I don't know. It still felt too tied into.
Yeah, but I don't know. I felt that just didn't get its chance.
Yeah,
I think they're like poor reviews. Let's run away.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Yeah. Okay.
So Lightning Thief.
Okay, but I was just gonna go on to with the show.
It's fine. It's. I don't know. I didn't really. Yeah. Again, I thought the folks in it did a good job. I think the thing itself, it just was an exposition dump.
Yeah. That's what this movie is.
Okay.
I'm like, are you just gonna explain everything?
Yeah.
Like they are telling us everything that's going on, because like in heist movies where they explain how the job is gonna, and they show it too, but like they're explaining it while they're showing it. Where this, like they were doing that, and it's just like, are you just gonna explain this whole movie?
Yeah,
and they kind of did.
Yeah. Well, this was like a lot of especially the first act was just like exposition dumping.
All the bells.
Because you have to get the whole thing of like, well, there's gods, and then they have kids, and then they're called half-bloods, and whatever, and like all this different stuff.
Muggles.
There's a thing. Yeah, but it was excuse me. It just felt like some things they really rushed through, and then other things they didn't explain enough, and there's like this massive quest that's just really the second act, and it's, I don't know.
So being called a half-blood in that, like, there is a word for that.
Demigod.
And it's called a demigod.
They do say demigod every now and then, but the camp is called, there's a camp, they go summer camp.
Yeah. Is it like a derogatory term, like half-blood?
No, it's just the term that they use instead of using demigod.
But that's
they use
the word.
Half-blood. I know.
Anyways.
I think half-blood sounds cooler in a way, or like on a t-shirt or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
instead of
camp half-blood thing, camp demigod. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So,
or they just like wanted to pull, like, well, in Harry Potter they were called mudbloods.
That sounds like a slur.
Well, it is,
which it is, but like, yeah. The one fun thing, or there's a few fun things. So in this, it's like 6 or 7 character or actors, and then they all play, most other than Percy Jackson, they all play like a couple other people for the most part. And that's also confusing at first, because like it's hard to establish that people are different people. Like, I mean, they did a good job, like in this production, of like costuming and different stuff. You can like, okay, well now she's got a black hoodie on, so that must be something different, and now she's got this on, and now they got, you know what I mean? Like, but I think just in general, it kind of switched between things too quickly, and you weren't able to grasp who people were. But anyway, one of the funny things that they did, because spoiler alert for a book series that's been out for a long time and a musical that's been out for a while, whatever. Percy Jackson is the son of Poseidon.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that at first.
Yes.
He kind of figures it out. So like when he goes to this Camp Half-Blood thing, they're trying to figure out like what his powers are and whatever. And he hides in a bathroom when they're playing this like game of capture the flag.
Yeah.
And the one person, she's the daughter of Ares, the god of war. So she's all like, oh, I'm going to kill you. She comes into the bathroom and finds him and starts to attack him. And then she's like, what's that noise? And he's like, I think it's the toilet. And the toilet, like, all this, like the toilet basically like explodes like with water and like drowns her. But the way they did it, and maybe this is, I don't know if this is how they did it on Broadway or just what they did for this thing, they got like a leaf blower with toilet paper and just like blew the toilet paper out. It was pretty funny. And then that bit comes back later as well. But it just was, I was like, that's good. Yeah. That was fun.
That's a good one.
So yeah.
So we're here to talk about 2 tunes.
We are indeed. My first.
Yeah.
We got to get back on.
So that means we got to do an episode of, or a recording session of 1 or 3.
Now, we've done 3 before, and it's...
Yeah, we run out of things to talk about that aren't the music itself.
Yeah.
And they're like 10-minute episodes.
So I mentioned, I think when we talked about...
This is funny, your choice, by the way.
Why?
Well, I'll explain when we get there. Yeah.
Funny how? Funny haha?
Yeah. Funny strange.
So I mentioned before, I think, Full Blown Meltdown.
Okay.
Did I mention them before?
Maybe.
So Full Blown Meltdown is a band, but like the guy, it's this guy. Okay, his Twitter thing name is Will. Full Blown Meltdown is my band / alias, but his Twitter is he's basically like sharing bands to check out. And he's been doing this thing in 2025 where he's doing like 365 days of DIY. And he did it last year too, I guess. And so every day he's just sharing a kind of a band from like the DIY scene of various genres.
Yeah.
So for instance, like yesterday, as of recording this, so like what is today, the 26th of January as we record this?
Yes.
So yesterday is the 25th is, who is this group? Magana. Okay. And it says like for fans of, and for this is Imogen Heap, Cavetown, MXM2, I don't know who that is. And then just kind of like gives like a little bit of it, like a little bit of info. And then it's like, okay, like gives their handle, gives for fans of, and then gives like a brief little thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, go check them out. But he's doing all kinds of different things. So it's not just like his band is very much pop punky kind of thing. But like he's kind of covering like a lot of different things. But anyway, Lobster Fight was somebody he mentioned who we had on and stuff. So like I've started following him now because I'm like, oh, I want to see who you
respect his taste.
Yeah, who you're talking about and stuff. And like, and again, I'll look at the for fans of thing. Like, am I a fan of this or not? Because if not, I'm not going to probably check it out. Like, I'm not going to listen to every recommendation he has. But I'm scrolling to find out
when this was
when he talked about this one. Oh, by the way, also on January 12th, not in the same, not the DIY sharing thing, but just talking about the Stay Golden album by Combat, who we had on a few weeks ago. He just said the fact that this is written by a bunch of 20-year-olds is insane. The next gen is built different. It is crazy. Like because I keep listening to that album some more, and I'm like, man, they're 20. Like they're putting out such good music. Not that they can't or whatever, but just but he mentioned Lobster Fight on like the 10th. I was already aware of them, but when the heck did I swear he mentioned mentioned Pigeon as well.
Or maybe you were
Did I make this up?
Yeah, maybe you did.
Okay. Maybe that's not where I got it from. Anyway, I'll give him a shout out anyway because he's great and he's doing some cool stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, Circus Trees I found last weekend somehow.
Interesting.
I'm not sure how now.
Okay. Well, if it's true, you learned it from that guy. You don't know when.
Yeah. Or I learned it somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I might tell you when you learned of them.
Nope. 6 days ago.
6 days ago?
It was on his thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Because I told you about them.
You did?
Yes, I did.
When?
Because they played with Say Anything.
6 days ago?
No, like when I saw Say Anything in December.
Oh, wild.
Or maybe was it December or was it November?
That's not, though, what made me...
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Because 6 days ago, I saw this post, and I was like, let me go listen to this. That's so funny.
Yeah. Circus Trees, they're great.
Yeah.
They were the weird live band that I was talking about. Where, like, the lighting, they didn't use the house lighting. They used their own lighting. And it was, like, 5 lights.
Okay.
And they weren't, like, fancy lights.
Yeah. That's so
They were also
funny.
on, like, half the stage. They were really, really good.
Yeah. That's so funny. Okay. Well, now I actually know about them.
Yeah. And I definitely told you about them. And I think
I'm
I
sure
even
you did.
played afterwards because they're good.
Yeah. Here's their bio. Circus trees wield an anguish that beckons. Droning through a weighty sadness, their musical spell extends a hand instead of turning in on itself, offering an open invitation to all misery-loving company. This is how the Marlborough, Massachusetts-based band started in 2018 and how it has remained as members and sisters, Juliana and Finola and Edme, continue to spin their sadness into listless post-rock.
Is this their most recent record?
This is, which I now own on vinyl.
Nice.
I own this and their EP from a couple years ago. Their bio from like their record label is better. But basically says like, combining the best and most brutal moments of grunge, emo, shoegaze, pop, and indie, resulting in a breathtaking, tear-making, ear-shattering sound of sadness that will echo in your heart. Day's End.
Very cool.
Yeah. And hang on. Come on.
I can play it.
You can. I was going to pull up the album name and info and things.
This Makes Me Sad comma, and I miss you.
There we go. And the song is?
Negative Feedback.
Yep. Track 3.
Kind of.
A little bit of slow burn.
Comes in. There's one part that was weird. I understand why they did it, though.
Mm-hmm. I know the part. I knew you were
I think
it was
just too abrupt.
Yeah.
I think they probably played this.
Yeah. A lot of their songs are like pretty long.
Yeah, this is 5:17.
Like over 4 minutes, I would say, on average. Yeah, I listened to this once through the whole album.
Yeah.
Was instantly enthralled.
Nice.
Went to their website, bought the vinyl.
Nice.
And I have it already.
That's fast.
It came real quick. Yeah. So it says there's 3 sisters, but like all their stuff only shows 2 people. Was it 3 people when you saw them?
Well, it was definitely a 3-piece: bass, drums, guitar.
But like all the pictures just have 2 of them.
Yeah, it says it was written by 3 people.
No, well, I said like it's Juliana, Finola, and Edme, but like.
Okay, so here it jumps down.
Yeah.
Wait, like it feels like what's going on?
Yeah.
And then it jumps back up, which that's the reason that they did that for, is to make that feel bigger. But I don't think that they had to drop it so low.
Yeah.
It just feels so weird.
Yeah.
Is it on the vinyl?
What?
Sometimes like they give you 2 different mixes.
Oh, I haven't listened to it yet. I like just got it yesterday.
Okay.
Like so I didn't even open it yet.
And at this point, you're like, oh, are we done? And it's like, no, we're not even halfway.
Yeah. I don't have like a ton to say. I mean, obviously I like it and stuff, but also like it feels like one of those songs like you know I don't want to talk over a whole lot, even though I am.
It says
like you gotta sit with it. Like,
did you already say this that their Instagram is like Sisters Sad Music?
No,
like that's their bio.
I don't know if I saw that. That's funny.
Sisters Sad Music. And they are followed by Matt Boudreau and Frank Turner.
Okay.
I know you don't know who Matt Boudreau is. He is the host of a podcast, Working Class Audio.
Okay. Also followed by Limited to One Record Store and Expert Work Records. All of which I'm going to say are friends of the podcast.
Oh, yeah. And the bass player or no, that's who they're following. Not followers. Never mind. Oh, and Brandon Bittman.
Great.
Yeah.
I really dig it.
I liked it when I saw it the first time when they were live.
Yeah.
And the lighting was good. And then I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to Full Blown Meltdown for turning me on to them.
Apparently, I didn't do a good enough job.
Yeah.
Because I don't have an Instagram account saying for bands like.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I played a song for them for like
Maybe.
2 seconds. And you're like, I got to leave.
Yeah.
I don't have your recommendations.
Yeah. So. That's cool. I dig them.
So they have Instagram followers. They have like 5,000 something.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say that is because our next band, Kickflip The Salamander, has 309.
Nice. Now, do you, how do you interpret that band name?
Kickflip The Salamander.
Are you using a salamander as like your skateboard and you're kickflipping the salamander, or you're kickflipping over the salamander?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Also, is it the animal, or is it the instant broiler kind of thing that they use on like Iron Chef sometimes?
I don't know. Well, we'll find out.
Do you know that? Have you heard of it? Salamander?
No, I don't.
It's like this like little broiler thing that like put it
have you ever heard of salamander wool?
No.
So there's this material that if you can weave it into fabric and you can throw it on a fire and it will come out white.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know what its common name is? Obviously not. It's asbestos.
Oh, okay.
It used to be called salamander wool.
Interesting.
Yeah. I know. Dumb questions. So I found them because I was on my sound Instagram account.
Okay.
Which is for music production type things. If I'm mixing, mastering, or whatever, recording. And I was like, I'm going to follow people, but I want to follow like smaller artists. I don't want to be like, hey, yeah, all these like really, really big. It's like maybe they'll like to kind of be like mutual, be like, I really like your band, obviously, if I listen to it. And then also if you feed the algorithm, it'll spit back what you're like. If you like the thing, you know, the algorithm, it gives you more things that you're actually paying attention to. So like that is all. That one is mainly like if I go through and just scroll random, it'll give me bands. It'll just give me music. So like flip up and then be like, listen, because it usually is playing music. Be like, oh, this is cool. And at one point I was just like, I don't want to follow anyone with more than X amount. So the lower the number, the better. And I'm like, yes.
Get in on the ground floor.
Exactly. Bro. So I liked the song, followed them on Instagram, listen to this song, and I'm like, this is really good. Surprising that they only have 309 followers on Instagram, but after today 310.
Hey.
Not for me, I'm already one of those people, but for the podcast itself, unless we already do already. I don't know. I don't know how advanced you are.
No.
They are I have the website pulled up, but they are Southwest Emo.
Okay.
And they do have a website, kickflipthesalamander.com. Not a lot on it. They December marks another successful they have like a blog on it. December marks another successful milestone for Kickflip the Salamander. And it's basically saying,
or is the salamander's name Kickflip?
Yeah, that's a good one too. Kickflip the Salamander. Yeah, I like that one better. All will be revealed when they
do a kickflip.
Wood Pusher. Do you get that one?
No. I was doing the Spider-Man like do a backflip thing.
Yeah. Well, no, there's people that will just walk up to like not walk up, but like see a skateboarder and be like do a kickflip. It's even like before that thing.
Yeah.
I was saying that back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Maybe I was too actually. Now that you say that, I'm like, wait, that feels like sense memory.
So this song when they posted on the blog, they're like the milestone is that this song surpassed 1,000 streams. Okay. And it's like streams at an unbelievable rate for the band our size, which with 309, like that's pretty good. They put out a guitar playthrough instrumental video on YouTube, and it like looks really good. Yeah, like visuals are awesome. It's a 5-piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-piece, 2 guitar players, bass, drums, and I don't specifically know who sings because everyone has a microphone in these pictures. Yeah. So it's
their latest single.
This is their latest single
from December 23, 2024.
Yeah, it just came out a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
A month. Wait, does he say 2023 or 2024?
No, December 23.
Yeah.
2024.
The eve of Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. Christmas Eve.
Yes. So here's Monotone Future.
Mm-hmm. I would guess from this one picture on their thing that the guy who looks like Wyatt Russell is the lead singer.
Okay.
Also, this bit before that kicks in, I thought was gonna go maybe in a different direction.
Yeah,
musically,
I love
the use of the glockenspiel. The glockenspiel thing is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Everybody does it, and it's great.
I love. Well, that's part of it. That's what like reminded me to like bring it up. But they throw in a lot of stuff in this song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think they might throw in too much stuff.
Yeah.
But it all kind of like the glockenspiel, awesome. The like that thing, cool, love it. There's another part near the end, and they're doing this all themselves.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like there's no record.
Very DIY.
Maybe they have more than one vocalist. Because even the drummer has a mic. I wish I was a better guitar player. I mean, I could probably figure out how to do all this stuff if I actually took the time.
Yeah.
But I'm just lazy and I'd like rather just play ska chords. There. The tape.
Yeah.
And then like they're like playing something and then they're rewinding. And then they're playing and then they're rewinding. So I dig that.
By the way, their Instagram bio, besides Southwest Emo, says 4-piece, everybody on vocals.
There you go. Bam. Answers my question.
Yeah. Have you listened to more of their stuff?
Yes.
Was it all pretty like this?
Yes and no.
Okay.
And I'll say I think that. Let's keep playing. They are evolving.
Yeah.
Like I think they're.
This
like,
makes sense. Yeah,
like they're getting better at recording.
Uh-huh.
They're getting better at writing songs.
Mm-hmm.
They get better at performing.
Mm-hmm.
Like so. I think this is their best song.
This is and this is also like the the current phase of evolution or whatever, if you will, or like maturity, maybe growth, not evolution necessarily that they're changing. But okay, I'm just curious. Yeah, because it's interesting. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot in the song.
Yeah.
Like, and it all works. Like, it's all cohesive. You know, it never feels like it takes like a weird left turn or whatever. Yeah. But like, even like the
I think they could tighten it down.
That kind of happen at some point. Like,
yeah, that came out of kind of like nowhere.
That kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. I mean, again, it fit and worked with what they were doing, but it was like, is that part of their sound, or is it just like that was for this song or whatever?
Like I didn't deep dive into this band.
No. But
I've heard it like once or twice.
Okay, that's kind of. Yeah. I think that was the main thing I was curious about. But yeah, I mean, it's funny they say everybody on vocals because you heard.
Yeah, definitely heard
many
at
different
least
vocal
3
lead things happening. Obviously, there's like the lead, and then like the backgroundy stuff, and then like that, and then like even like the kind of like higher stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I'd be curious to hear more going forward of what they're coming out with. Yeah. So, yeah.
Come play Pennsylvania.
Yeah, right.
That's so far away from them.
Well, they had a thing on their book them for a show.
But that would be really pointless.
That can be your next thing.
What?
You can book shows.
I'm not booking shows. I don't want to put on a show. I don't have a venue.
No, you do it with a venue.
Yeah, I'd have to like... I don't want to be a booking agent, or not a booking agent, but a talent buyer. That's what they're called.
Talent buyer. That sounds predatory.
It does. Well, that's what they're. That's okay. So this is so like
no, booking agent is the person that books. You work for the band.
Okay, yeah. Booking agent works for the band and will book them at different venues. A talent buyer is somebody who works for the venue to bring in talent. Gotcha. I'm buying talent to come into our venue. Which that would be the thing, which I don't want to do either of those things.
Yeah.
Promoter, that's the other one. Promoter, that's what you're thinking of. So promoter is like I am in the city or not even in the city, but like I work with these venues and I bring in these bands to these venues.
Right.
Like presented by
Bo Barber,
Harrisburg,
Bo Barber,
University.
Jesus Children of America.
Oh my God,
there's a throwback for you.
Yeah, that is yes. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Come join the Discord. We got a new member.
Did we?
Yeah.
Is it one of the dudes from Pigeon?
Is a friend of Pigeon.
Okay.
They're like they were like, I joined because my boys in Pigeon.
That's dope. All the dudes in Pigeon follow us now, I think.
Yeah, they do. and then the guy who or the person, I don't know. I have no idea.
Sure.
They're going to be so disappointed
that the Discord's just dead
because no one's there.
They can hype it up. They can make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen, guys. Yeah. Pigeon. They're not listening to this.
They might.
Yeah.
Anyways, great new music. I think they're doing stuff.
Always good. Yeah. So we will see you next week.
On the flippity flop, on the kickity flip.
Yeah, let's see if this button works.
Bye.